Hey there, thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. You're watching Game On with me, Kabir Naqvi, your one-stop shop for everything that's buzzing and brewing in the world of sports. On the show today, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Challengers Bengaluru's discomfort on home turf. It continues as they now host the Punjab Kings tomorrow. Will the Punjab Kings be able to exploit the RCB's home run? Well, we'll find out. And of course, we'll also talk about IPL's first super over in about 4 years. It was a nail-biting, down-to-the-wire event. We'll break that down for you as well. We're also going to talk about the major shake-up in Team India's support staff. The BCCI has got some of those dressing room churns that we need to throw some light on. And of course, the UEFA Champions League semi-finals lineup is complete, and what a lineup we have. All right, let's get cracking. Let's game on. First up, Royal Challengers Bengaluru's push for a maiden home victory this season. It will depend on how their batters will handle Yuzvendra Chahal's spin in the IPL match against a supremely confident Punjab Kings that we're seeing. The match is expected to take place tomorrow, and Yuzvendra Chahal, in the company of veteran off-spinner Glenn Maxwell, will like to capitalize on Bengaluru batters' struggle against slow bowlers like Gujarat Titans' R. Sai Kishore and Delhi Capitals' Kuldeep Yadav and Vipraj Nigam on the Chinnaswamy Stadium turf in RCB's earlier games. Now, both Chahal and Maxwell will also be armed with their familiarity with the conditions over there, as the duo have spent years at the Royal Challengers' dugout as well. However, RCB camp can take a slight consolation from the fact that they batted first against Gujarat Titans and Delhi Capitals, and their spinners took full advantage of a no-dew atmosphere. But Yuzvendra Chahal, who returned to form with a 4-wicket haul against Kolkata Knight Riders, and Glenn Maxwell, they both operate aside from the conditions. It remains to be seen if the dull form with the bat will not hinder Maxwell's inclusion in the playing 11 tomorrow. Yuzvendra Chahal is a master of lengths rather than that of magic balls, apart from stock balls. The leg spinner lures with offerings wide off the off stump, and the batters need to reach out to the ball for the big hits, often resulting in catches in the deep. All going according to plan for Yuzvendra Chahal. He also varies his pace quite cleverly, and the batters need to put that much extra effort if they want to hit sixes against this spinner. Glenn Maxwell too is a similar operator, relying on control rather than big turns or big dippers. The Aussie has also found some success against right-handers in the white ball formats, and that might come in handy for Punjab against their opponents, whose batting lineup has an array of right-handers. Of course, big names in that batting lineup as well. The Punjab outfit also has capable pace options in Arshdeep Singh and Marco Janssen, though not as decorated as Josh Hazelwood and Bhuvneshwar Kumar in the opposition counterparting ranks. The RCB have their set of spinners in Krunal Pandya and Suyash Sharma, giving the hosts hopes of trading some punches of their own as well on the spin battlefield. But Punjab Kings will also try to stop an in-form Virat Kohli early in the innings. Every time Kohli has put runs on the board this season, Royal Challengers Bengaluru have gone on to win the match. Their 2 losses against Gujarat Titans and Delhi Capitals have come when Virat Kohli was dismissed for 7 and 22 runs respectively. And in crafting the RCB innings, Virat Kohli has scored about 248 runs across 6 innings so far, averaging quite a healthy 62 at a strike rate of 143.35. Those are big numbers when you're talking about day in, day out IPL matches. He has crossed the 60-run mark thrice, this time in across 6 innings. And on the periphery, you've got somebody like a Rajat Patidar and Shreyas Iyer. They have little in common. Shreyas has proven credentials, an IPL winning captain with an excellent track record as a batter in this tournament. Rajat Patidar, on the other hand, is a first-time captain in the Indian Premier League and does not have a glittering CV as his PBKS counterpart as a batter. But the dissimilarities, they end there. They have exuded a reassuring calmness whilst guiding the team irrespective of the outcomes. Rajat Patidar has been authoritative without being very overbearing whilst leading a squad full of superstars. And I don't need to mention those names. You've got Hazelwood, Virat Kohli. The list is quite long. Now, he has to be at his tactical and managerial best against a versatile opponent led by somebody who's already proved his mettle, at least in this tournament. A superb player of spin, Rajat Patidar, will also have to take upon himself the task of nullifying the twin threat of Yuzvendra Chahal and Glenn Maxwell if the Chinnaswamy deck retains its slow-paced character. Shreyas Iyer too is one of the best players of spin around the boards, the best equipped in the Punjab lineup to tackle RCB's Krunal Pandya and Suyash. As a team, Punjab Kings will be high on confidence after their 16-run win over Kolkata Knight Riders in a recent low-scoring thriller. But they will be well aware that RCB, who have depth in batting and bowling, will be a harder opponent to overcome. Meanwhile, Indian Premier League, it witnessed a first super over. That's right, a first super over in the IPL in the last 4 years, as the Delhi Capitals pulled off a heist pretty much by stealing a thrilling win over Rajasthan Royals at the Firozshah Kotla ground just last evening. An ice-cold Mitchell Starc and several poor calls for runs by the Rajasthan Royals batters during these tense final overs. When the Delhi Capitals had to defend 9 runs of 6 balls, it forced the game into a super over from a near winning situation for the Rajasthan Royals. It was Rajasthan Royals' match to lose, and well, that's exactly what happened. Off the penultimate delivery of the RR innings, Dhruv Jurel sends Shimron Hetmeyer back after a single, when a risky second was in fact possible. On the last, they were compelled to run the second run, which wasn't there. This resulted in a tied score, Rajasthan Royals responding to Delhi Capitals' 188 for 5 with 188 for 4. The Australian left-arm pacer, Mitchell Starc, then bowled a tremendous super over, conceding just 2 boundaries in that 1 over. Rajasthan Royals again making suicidal running between the sticks, those calls pretty much suicidal, and the Delhi Capital fielders executing 2 razor-sharp runouts as the Rajasthan Royals managed only 11 runs in that super over. KL Rahul and Tristan Stubbs then kept their nerves in check, slamming a 4 and a 6 respectively to take the hosts to their first win at the Firozshah Kotla for this season. As the Rajasthan Royals chased 189, Yashasvi Jaiswal scored 51 off of 37, and the local lad Nitish Rana chipped in with 51 runs off of 28 balls as the Rajasthan Royals cruised towards an easy win, but the Delhi Capitals turned the tide with a roaring late surge, eventually tying the game at 188 for 4 wickets. Put into bat earlier, the Delhi Capitals rode a 49 by opener Abhishek Porel and a 38-run stint by KL Rahul, backed by 2 34-run knocks from Tristan Stubbs and Akshar Patel to post that 188 for 5 total. Meanwhile, take a look at this. The Indian cricket team's assistant coach, Abhishek Nair, he has been sacked just 8 months into the assignment amid speculations of a rift with a high-profile member of the support staff, even though test debacles against New Zealand and Australia are being cited as the reason for his ouster. Now, if the board sources are to be believed, Nair has already been intimidated of his BCCI's decision to part ways with him. According to a PTI report, fielding coach T. Dilip and SNC strength and conditioning coach Soham Desai are also on their way out after completing more than 3 years in their respective positions. The new standard operating procedure of the BCCI has capped the support staff's tenure at 3 years. It is being learnt that India's first ever strength and conditioning coach, Adrian Leroux, is likely to return for a second stint. Now, the South African is widely credited for ushering a new fitness regime, a new culture of fitness in the team, then led by Sourav Ganguly during the 2003 World Cup. It is understood that Nair was not the first choice assistant for the head coach Gautam Gambhir when the appointments were finally finalized. He was appointed to act as a bridge between Gautam Gambhir and skipper Rohit Sharma, with whom he has shared a closer relationship owing to their time together as Mumbai teammates. Now, Nair and Dilip have been the Indian skipper's most trusted lieutenants, and it is not known whether Rohit was kept in the loop by the BCCI mandarins about these particular decisions, but a dressing room churn that certainly is on the cards. Let's shift our focus to the UEFA Champions League games and the final semi-finals lineup. Arsenal defeated defending champions Real Madrid 2-1 on Wednesday to sail into the Champions League semi-finals for the first time since 2009 in a match where the VAR played a key role in two different penalty decisions. Now, Arsenal advanced 5-1 on aggregate in total after winning 3-0 in London last week, keeping alive their chances of winning Europe's top club competition for the first time. Now, they will face Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. There was no historic comeback for Real Madrid this time. No late goals, no high drama, no magic at the Santiago Bernabeu. The 15-time European champions, Real Madrid, fell short of the last four for the first time since the year 2020, ending their shot at a third Champions League title in 4 seasons. Real Madrid's coach, Carlo Ancelotti, confessed that Arsenal were a better side in the 2 matches, even though his side played the second leg with more intensity.
In this tie, it was important to have a momentum that could have been the penalty we were disallowed. It could have been a moment that could have changed the dynamic of this tie. But to be honest, Arsenal defended really well. We have had troubles to find spaces. We were better in terms of intensity, but it was not enough. We need to handle well the sad part of the game, which is an elimination from the Champions League. How we do that? There are 3 competitions that we need to be focused on. We need to accept it because I think Arsenal was better than us in the 2 matches.
Now, Madrid's hopes of staging another big comeback took a big hit when a 5-minute VAR review overturned a penalty for a hold on Kylian Mbappe in the first half, with the game still tied at 0-0. We're talking about the second leg. And Arsenal earlier had been awarded a penalty after a video review, but Bukayo Saka missed the penalty from the spot. Now, Saka was able to put Arsenal ahead from inside the area after Mikel Merino's pass in the 65th minute, and Madrid couldn't manage more than an equalizer by Vinicius Jr. just a couple of minutes later after a defensive blunder by a pretty good William Saliba, except for this blunder that we're talking about. Gabriel Martinelli compelled and completed the scoring 3 minutes into stoppage time, also after another assist by Mikel Merino. A proud Mikel Arteta, the manner of their win, because it was more important than reaching the semi-finals. It was to beat the Madristas. Of course, listen in to how the Arsenal coach now took this victory into his stride.
Not only because we are in the semi-final for the 3rd time in our history, but as well for the manner and the way we did it, not only by the way we played, but as well with the circumstances and the amount of injuries that we have. So I think overall, I think it shows the character of this team, of this club, and is a night to be very proud of.
Now, there will be no Champions League title for Kylian Mbappe in his first season with Real Madrid. And funnily, PSG could be making their way to the finals, could be getting their Champions League medal as well. But after several failed attempts with Paris Saint-Germain, Mbappe joined the record 15-time European champion, bidding to finally break through with the title. But he couldn't help Madrid complete its run for the trophy and was jeered by a section of the Santiago Bernabeu stadium. Arsenal hadn't lost to Madrid in the team's 3 previous meetings. They also overcame Madrid in the Champions League knockout stage in 2005 and 6 when they reached the final and eventually lost the title to Barcelona.
We always believed till the end, and I felt that if we scored the first goal that they would get more afraid and that there maybe we would have been able to win, but eventually they scored first and that changed a bit the game.
Now, in Arsenal's win over hosts Real Madrid, there was a VAR drama as the Gunners survived a dramatic first half scare, as a controversial penalty awarded to host Real Madrid was eventually overturned following quite a lengthy video assistant referee review. Real Madrid were handed a penalty of their own when referee ruled that Declan Rice had pulled back Kylian Mbappe inside the box. The French forward went to go around and Declan Rice, visibly frustrated, received a yellow card. The decision, however, drew widespread criticism for appearing soft, and after a 5-minute-long VAR review, the referee was called to the monitor. Upon reviewing the footage, he overturned his own decision and rescinded Declan Rice's yellow card booking. UEFA promptly released a statement clarifying the reversal. And I quote, "The penalty for Real Madrid has been taken away due to a non-foul by Declan Rice." And the other big game now. Former Bayern Munich defender Benjamin Pavard scored against his old club to help Inter Milan to a 2-2 draw against the German Giants on Wednesday and send the Nerazzurri through to the Champions League semi-finals, 4-3 on total aggregate. It was Benjamin Pavard's first goal for Inter Milan in almost 2 years, ever since the French international joined from Bayern Munich back in 2023. Eric Dyer headed in the equalizer on the night in the 76th minute to set up a nervy finale. Inter will now face Barcelona in the semi-finals. It beat the same opponent in the Final Four back in 2010 on its way to winning the Champions League and securing the treble under Jose Mourinho. Simone Inzaghi's men are in contention to repeat that feat this very season.
These are the evenings that will stay with all of us. Beating a team like this is incredibly difficult. We had to play 2 really great matches and we did. With our fans, it was wonderful tonight. It repays you. We saw what kind of opponent they are. And in the Champions League, nothing is forgiven. You need to have incredible intensity. Credit to the boys, because in both the home and away legs, we played 2 great matches, helping each other, sacrificing ourselves, playing well when it mattered. We were sharp on loose balls, set pieces, second balls. I am very satisfied as a coach. Like I said before, I am lucky to have a team with guys who, besides being great champions, are also great men.
Inter Milan had stunned Bayern last week, winning 2-1 to inflict the German teams its first home defeat in the competition in almost 4 years. Bayern had a few early opportunities, with Pavard charging down an effort by Michael Olise and Alessandro Bastoni timing a sliding tackle to perfection to also deny Olise again, who had gone clear on goal. Inter managed to slow things down after the frantic start and began to have opportunities of its own as well.
Sort of how the games went, and in the first game we had some regrets, and in the second game maybe even more, because we come to Milan and I think we showed a positive side of Bayern Munich again, and it felt there was a lot that felt right today before the game. We had incredible support from our fans. They come to see us. They come to see us at the hotel, and so everything started in the way we wanted. But then, of course, 2 moments, and in these 2 moments, you have to recognize also the quality of Inter Milan. But it's 2 moments for us where we'd like to do better, and especially also a lot of moments where we think we can score. We think normally we're able to make more goals than Inter.
Now, there was panic in the Inter area moments later, and Bayern's first leg goal scorer, Thomas Müller, had a shot charged down by Matteo Darmian, and Leroy Sané saw the follow-up saved by Jan Sommer. However, Bayern Munich broke the deadlock and levelled the quarterfinals aggregate 7 minutes into the second half. The Inter fans were in for a nervy final 14 minutes, however, as Serge Gnabry's cross found Eric Dyer at the byline and his header strangely looped into the far top corner from the tightest of angles, denying Bayern the opportunity to play the Champions League final at home. That's right, this year the final is taking place at the Allianz Arena. Meanwhile, coming to his team and players' defense, coach Enzo Maresca said that Chelsea are moving in the right direction and developing a playing style that will help them in the long run. Let's not forget some more Europa Conference and Europa League matches that are right around the corner, and his players were jeered over the weekend. Chelsea initially found themselves 2 goals down in Sunday's draw with Ipswich Town, where they were abused by impatient fans at Stamford Bridge for sticking to the same approach and build-up when it was not working against the relegation-threatened team. However, even though they fell to 6th in the standings, Maresca said that he had 100% belief in his approach, adding that his squad is improving as they chase a Europa Conference League semi-final spot when they host Legia Warsaw. Maresca also said that he does not hear the abuse from the crowd, but added that fan support was vital to the progress of the team, who he believes can make the step up next season. And moving on, Manchester United forward Joshua Zirkzee will miss the rest of the season with a hamstring injury. Netherlands international was injured in Sunday's 4-1 Premier League loss at Newcastle. Manchester United made their final preparations yesterday ahead of the Europa League quarter-final second leg against French side Lyon. Andre Onana will return in goal for United despite his errors in the first leg, but striker Joshua Zirkzee is out for the season, according to Ruben Amorim, the United head coach. Manager Ruben Amorim confirmed yesterday that the 23-year-old Zirkzee is out for the rest of the season. Amorim also said that the club will now prepare him for the next one. And Zirkzee joined United from Serie A side Bologna in July, but had a slow start to the season before improving his form significantly in 2025. He came off the bench to score in the 2-2 draw against Lyon in last week's first leg of the same match that's going to take place tonight. Ruben Amorim said that to deal with Zirkzee's absence will be tough for the club, especially in this moment. Amorim said Matthias de Ligt, Aiden Haven and Toby Collier also remain out United's return leg Europa League game against Lyon, as does Johnny Evans, despite training with the group on the eve of the game.
Man United, can you see me? Can you hear me? My response was going to be a bit sharp and
Well, Andre Onana also at the center of that controversy. The second leg is going to take place today. Let's not forget all those team players that he pretty much disrespected in an interview. They're going to be with him on the field again tonight. That's all the time we have for you in this edition of Game On.